Hello, friends! Welcome back to my channel. It was 2 a.m. and I was exploring an abandoned library when I found a dusty old notebook lying on one of the tables. It was leather-bound with strange symbols embossed on the cover. I blew off the dust and opened it. The pages were filled with cryptic symbols and diagrams, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease as I flipped through it. There was something about this book that I couldn't quite put my finger on, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I should probably just walk away. But curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to take it home with me. After all, what harm could possibly come from a dusty old book, right? When I got home, I placed the book on my desk and tried to focus on my schoolwork. But the book kept catching my eye, and so I eventually gave in and started to read it. The words seemed to swim before my eyes, and I struggled to make sense of them. But as I continued to read, I began to feel a sense of dread. As I read, I felt a cold spot in the room, and I could have sworn I heard a whisper, but when I turned around, no one was there. As I continued reading, the room began to darken, and I could hear chains dragging metal moans. I could have sworn the room had grown colder as well. I began to feel a sense of panic rising within me. What was this book, and why did it seem to be affecting my reality? And then it hit me. This wasn't just any book. This was a grimoire, a book of shadows, and I had brought it into my own home. As I turned the pages, I could feel the darkness growing stronger, and I knew I had to get rid of it. But as I tried to close the book, the pages stuck together and wouldn't budge. In a panic, I ripped the pages apart, and that's when I saw it. The words that I had read earlier were now gone, vanished into thin air. But that wasn't the only thing that had vanished. The room was now pitch black, and I could hear chains dragging metal moans. I tried to call out for help, but my voice wouldn't come out. It was like the book had sucked the light and sound right out of the room. Then, just as quickly as it had vanished, the light returned. The chains were gone and the whispers faded into silence. And then I noticed something else. The words that had vanished from the pages were now written in my journal. My heart raced as I realized what was happening. This book was somehow writing itself, and it was predicting things that would happen to me. But why? What was the purpose of this curse? I tried to ignore it, to pretend that it wasn't happening, but it only got worse. Rain started falling, even though the sky was clear. Doors slammed shut, even though no one was there. Whispers filled the air, even though I was alone. It was like the book was taking control of my life, and I didn't know how to stop it. I tried everything I could think of to break the curse, but nothing worked. The book continued to write itself, and the events it predicted continued to happen. I was trapped in a nightmare, and I didn't know how to escape. Then I saw it. On the last page of the book, written in the same strange symbols that had appeared earlier, was a message that chilled me to the bone. "The end is closer than you think," it said. And then the words began to vanish, just like they had before. But this time, they didn't reappear in my journal. They just vanished. I felt a sense of dread wash over me. What did the book mean? Was this the end? I didn't know. All I knew was that I was terrified. And then the lights went out again, plunging me into darkness. I screamed, but no one came. I was alone in the darkness with my fear and my fate. Guys, I made a new channel. It's called Dark Room. If you want more creepy stories like this, go check it out. I won't be able to continue this story there because of copyright reasons. So if you want to hear more, please go subscribe. And in the comments, the first comment is the channel link. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.